The Clown Prince of Crime has lost his voice. It's a sad day. Ben Affleck plus Stephen King equals... I don't know. It's iffy. AMC shows some brains with their renewal of The Walking Dead. Brains. Nom 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 noms. All that, plus Nigel checks in from the Multiverse with the latest news, and we've got a great interview you won't want to miss coming up on today's Slice.
Covering all the news from every dark corner of the universe.
Warning, effects of time shifting may occur.
This is Dr. Michio Kaku.
I'm Peter Mayhew.
This is Trisha Helfer, number 6 from Battlestar Galactica.
Hi, this is Colin Ferguson of the Sci-Fi Channel's Eureka, and you're listening to Slice of Sci-Fi.
SliceofSciFi.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Slice of Sci-Fi. We're still in the Halloween spirit.
Indeed.
But thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Michael Armenge.
I'm Brian Brown, and I saw Brett Philippek steal his image from Sam.
My own avatar?
Yes, I have a lovely picture of him in high school from the reunion, and he's trying to take it back. I will have it.
I have a lovely
I'm
bunch
Sam
of coconuts.
Roberts.
Coconuts.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here getting
It's Brett with hair. Give it back, Brett with hair.
Tim Adamick.
And I am Brett Philippek.
Nice.
That's awesome.
There you go.
It is.
That's why I was stealing my picture.
Okay, we have no more time for shenanigans. Let's get down to
Let's
the
do it.
news.
Positions, everyone. And now, the news.
All right. So, this is really sad news. It really is. So, for close to 2 decades now, actor Mark Hamill has been providing the DC Universe with many considered the definitive voice of the Joker.
without it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
That boy is talented with his voice.
Yeah, so with the recent release of Arkham City, Hamill says that he's decided it is time to retire from voicing the Clown Prince of Crime.
What?
Is there something better to do?
Well, Hamill tweeted a farewell to the character recently, saying that he'd enjoyed providing the voice for the character for so long, but he felt that it was time to retire as the Joker. And this is what he says. He says, "I've enjoyed every minute behind the wheel of the Crown Prince's crazy car. I'm going to miss him more than I can say." And that's basically all he's really said about it. Now, why? I don't know. I mean, there's been lots of speculation, so...
Maybe he's got another gig.
Maybe he's just finished doing that voice for so long.
I mean, that's a long time, right? So,
I don't know.
Wow.
Old and bored?
Old and bored.
Could be.
actor Ben Affleck has made the transition from in front of the camera to behind it with his directing work on The Town and Gone Baby Gone.
Oh, yeah, those are great movies. What?
Yeah.
I like The Town.
So actually, they both of them have been critically well-reviewed.
The Town was actually a really
Gone
good movie.
Baby Gone, too, actually. And for his next project, Affleck will be directing the new big screen version of The Stand.
Yep. Can't wait for that.
For a while, it looked like the project would go to Steve Kloves and David Yates, but the duo may have had too high a price tag after their recent success on Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
So that led Warner Brothers to tap Affleck to direct the multi-film adaptation of the Stephen King novel. That's right, multi-film.
Multi-film?
Oh, yeah. Hollywood loves the multi-films nowadays,
Yeah.
right? And filming them at once.
Bumpity bump.
Yeah.
No.
Who could we get? Who's cheap? Oh, Ben Affleck. Let's get him.
That's right.
I mean, really, seriously. I mean, yes, maybe Gone Baby Gone and The Town are both, critically acclaimed. Yawn. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah, exactly.
Keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Move on.
So last week, AMC announced The Walking Dead will be back for a third season. Woohoo!
Yay.
And while we can't confirm where exactly the series is headed, the rest of the season, especially the rest of season 2 and into season 3, we can tell you that Stephen King and his son Joe Hill will not be penning an episode for in the near future.
Oh, okay.
They were supposed to. So King said that he and Hill were in discussions to write an episode, but producer Gail Ann Hurd says it won't happen anytime soon due to King's busy schedule.
And the fact that he wouldn't let him write himself into the episode.
There you go.
So she said they've got a pretty full dance card, and in order to write an episode of The Walking Dead, you need to be heavily involved in the writer's room. And this is from Gail Ann Hurd herself. That's a commitment beyond just penning one episode. So it's difficult for people who don't have a lot of free time. Basically, they chain you to the desk, folks. That's really what it boils down to.
Yes.
Hurd then went on to hint that despite not having an episode from the King of Horror, and the writing team is working hard to make sure the audiences has at least one thing per episode that will haunt the audience, all leading up to the mid-season finale in a few weeks. Our 7th episode, which is one that ends our mid-season before we pick up again in February. Yeah, they only did 7 episodes till February.
Really?
I think it'll knock people's socks off.
Yeah, I'd say
Okay.
they don't really need Stephen King. They're doing okay.
I don't
by
think they do.
themselves.
I don't think so either. And basically, she said people will remember this episode for a long time.
Yeah.
Kind of like how I remember the first episode in the squishy zombie guts.
Yeah.
And speaking of, Robert Kirkman has revealed that a pair of old characters will return to The Walking Dead. The writer and executive producer told Entertainment Weekly that, ooh, yay, Merle, Michael Rooker, right?
Yeah.
And Morgan, Lenny James, will eventually reappear. We're all suffering from Michael Rooker withdrawal. He joked, we love him, we want him back. I love Michael Rooker. He added it could happen in episode 3, could happen in episode 7, or it could happen in a possible third season. Tease. But we're going to get him back. Kirkman suggested that both Rooker and James brought a lot of credit to the first season of the hit zombie drama. We're absolutely dying to work them back into the show.
Wow.
Alrighty then.
Okay. One last little bit before we break away to some more important stuff. If you've been weeping over ever since we told you that Universal has pulled the plug on the Dark Tower series, don't worry about it. We may have some good news, really, actually. Producer Brian Graxer says the project could be back again due to some trims in the budget by him and director Ron Howard. We found a way to cut out $45 million out of the budget without changing the scope and actually giving it a good ending.
Yeah.
Suggesting a heavily reworked approach. He said in the $140 million draft, the ending wasn't quite as satisfying. Now we've got a $45 million and a $50 million out of the way, and it's really satisfying now.
Well,
so it was a bloated piece of crap before, is what he's saying.
They just basically canceled Samuel L. Jackson's appearance. Is really what it comes down
Actually,
to.
I think they just took just discarded the last 3 books.
Yeah. Well, what they said is
He
actually
remade THX 1123.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
it may be going to HBO. That's what may also be happening. So, but
That's not a bad idea.
HBO has yet to confirm that. So, why don't we do a little other stuff?
Right.
I'm in Transylvania to answer an age-old question once and for all. Was Keanu Reeves' portrayal of Jonathan Harker authentic? We'll ask someone who knew him well, but at the moment, I'm a bit lost. Excuse me, old woman, I'm from Multiverse News. Do you speak English?
Da, Elito. Do you know the sexy man?
Pardon? Sexy man?
Da, lots of neutron.
No, ma'am, he is on FTL News.
It is a pity. He is a very sexy man. We love lots of neutron.
Of course you do. Is this Castle Dracula?
Nietsky. It is across the street.
That is Castle Dracula over there, yes?
Da, through the gate.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening.
Hi, I'm Shane from Multiverse News.
Do you know Lance?
No, he is on FTL News. You are Count Dracula, da? I mean, yes?
Da, I am the Count.
Can I ask a couple of questions about Jonathan Harker?
Da, but you can ask him yourself.
I thought he was dead.
Undead. Mwahaha. Jonathan.
Yeah.
Lovely evening. Dude, I think I've seen you on the telly. Are you Lance Neutron? Would you like to come in for coffee?
Okay, I think that's all we need.
Hey Kev, Dad's asleep. Let's do an experiment.
What experiment?
The one from Mythbusters, where they put the guy's hand in the water to see if he would pee on himself. Let's try it on Daddy.
Hey kids, what are y'all doing?
Nothing, Mom.
Do you have your own little geeks? Need some ideas to keep them out of trouble? Well, check out the How to Grow Your Geek podcast.
We have cool kids books and movie reviews. We have awesome game reviews.
And we have interviews, advice, and a whole lot of fun. Check us out at
howtogrowyourgeek.net.
And welcome back to more of Slice of Sci-Fi. I'm Michael Armenegay.
I'm Brian Brown. Today we have something a little different, folks.
But it's
an awesome thing, actually. So we're talking to Emii. Now, Emii, you may or may not know who she is. Now, she's really an up-and-coming artist, and she's had some really cool stuff. She has a video on YouTube or lots of other places, too, as well, called Mr. Romeo. It was Snoop Dogg. But you're going, guys, why are you talking to somebody that, kind of is a singer, that sort of thing? Because
she's
Emii,
a super geek.
She's one of us.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
She's dear to my heart.
Welcome to the show, Emii.
I'm very happy to be here.
She's like, what the hell did I get myself into?
So let's talk about, first off, because Mr. Romeo is really an awesome song, for one. And
yes, it is.
The fact is you get Snoop Dogg with you as well is really killer, and it's really cool.
Yeah, it was an awesome experience. And I mean, there is a rumor that Snoop Dogg is a giant Star Trek fan, but I was not able to confirm this during the shoot.
He's pretty nerdy, actually. Mm-hmm. We know he is.
Heard so much. There were glimpses of it, but we were busy shooting, so we didn't get into it too much, but next time.
That's really cool, though.
Well, it's our goal to seek out and out all the geeks out there in the world that don't really realize that they're geeks. So congratulations, you're like on the list.
Hey, I will help you achieve your goal.
We're all about that. And
definitely.
I tell you, the thing that just warmed the cockles of my heart was that picture of you with Thor's hammer.
Oh man! Oh,
awesome.
Yeah. I did not want to let that thing down. I told them they would have to fight me to take it away from me, and well, they've got a lot more superhero power than I do, so they did end up getting it back. But that was during a tour of the Marvel headquarters in New York City a couple months ago, and it was funny because after the tour, my publicist looked at me and she said, "That was the highlight of your career, wasn't it?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, it might have been."
So after seeing that photo, I had an instant question that I had to get you on here to talk about, because it looks like you either have superhuman strength or that thing is not as heavy as it looks.
Oh man. Oh, I gotta tell some secrets now. Well, yeah, they told me it was really, really heavy. And I picked it up, and I'm sorry, Marvel, I love you, but I was a little disappointed with the weight of the hammer. Maybe, though, it's because I meant to hold the hammer.
Oh,
that's it. You are set to wield it.
Yes, this is my rationalization for why it was not that heavy, because you have to be able to throw it, and I work out, but, technically I wouldn't be able to wield Thor's hammer in a real-life situation.
So, obviously, you're a Marvel girl, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not DC. No DC for you. Marvel all the way, right?
I have an appreciation for the new Batman movies, but I'm mostly a Marvel girl.
Yeah, and you now, if I remember correctly, reading through your bio, you worked at a comic book store, right?
Yes, I did. I worked at, it was called Collectors Universe in Midtown Manhattan, and I miss that place. It's not there anymore.
Wow.
So where do you do you just go to your local place to grab comics now, or do you have a place special and dear to your heart that you go?
I actually download them on the iPad now.
Oh, now that's interesting, because we've been talking about that a little bit, about how this might be the death knell for brick and mortars, possibly because of the digital format.
I mean, I was getting worried about comics for a while because, there wasn't an easily downloadable way to, the devices that a lot of people use. I don't know if that made any sense.
Oh, yeah.
But when the Marvel app came out and I could just download the comic books, I'm like, yes, comic books are saved. They may be in digital form, but, it's still in the form of the comic book. You turn the pages and it's all there. So.
Well, we've talked about this several times on the show, and I'm dying to get your take on this. I still say that the comic books themselves are going to still survive, but they're going to survive as a collectible medium. That your day-to-day reading is going to happen in digital format, and then you're going to go say, I got to have one of these, and you go out and buy one so that you got it on your shelf.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of the same way music is going. If you love the song that you downloaded off of iTunes, sometimes you'll go and buy the actual physical album.
Yeah, that's actually very, very true. I do that exact thing. So,
yeah, but you look for the ones that are really special, the ones that are really dolled up and nice. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow, that is really cool.
I'm never giving up my crates of comic books. So,
how many crates of comic books do you have?
I had more, but my family moved a couple times after I had moved, and some of them got lost in translation, and I don't really want to talk about it, but
I understand.
most of them are still there, so it's okay.
Gotcha. So let's talk about you for a second. How does a girl in a comic book shop end up being Emmy?
Well, I guess I've always been Emmy, but when I was in New York, I worked at the comic book shop during the day, and then right after work, I'd go straight into the studio, record all night, and then I'd go back to work the next day. And that's kind of how it was for a long time until I met the team that I'm with now. But ultimately, you know, it's always been music for me. So, I mean, it wasn't just the getting discovered thing that some people talk about. It was a journey, and it still is.
Okay. So are you still putting in those kind of crazy hours in the studio?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. I mean, I'd say I'm always doing something related to music or creating music or, you know, everything in relation to it. It's just life for me. It's 24/7. I mean, I dream about it too, so it's kind of creepy, actually.
Yeah, no, I mean, your passion, I mean, everybody has those, and often, you know, whether it's video games, comic books, whatever, movies, you know, cinema buffs, those sorts of things, you kind of eat, live, breathe, sleep it, you know?
Yeah.
That's it. That's how it goes.
Although this has to be impacting your D&D time.
Oh, man, you have no idea.
I bet. Yeah, I was going to say, so what else do you do, you know, what other kind of hobbies do you like to do, you know, kind of geeky things, since we're, you know, exploring, you know, what makes, you know, a pop star that has, you know, like we said, Snoop has is, I know Snoop plays D&D. In fact, I know he does, I'm sure. But, you know, it's just like, you know, what other things do you do, you know? Do you know, besides collecting comics, that is?
Video games, definitely video games. I've got PS3, Wii, PS2. Actually, I lent my Xbox 360 out because I was touring and I didn't have time for it. I wanted it to get good use. I am big on Star Wars. The originals, not so much the prequels. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I actually only recently saw Aliens, which is now one of my favorite movies.
Ooh.
It took long for me to see that. And I grew up on Star Trek Next Generation, and I've been taking martial arts for about the past 15 years, which I only consider geeky because I got made fun of in elementary school for that, so that's what I'm gauging it on.
Well, it's geeky is cool now, so that's.
I know it's good.
Awesome.
It's coming into style. We're gonna, you know.
We're getting there, absolutely. Yeah. So now, are you doing the convention circuit? And if not, why not?
I was so close to going to Comic-Con this year, but at the last minute, MTV in Lebanon booked me for a huge show there. So during Comic-Con, I ended up in Beirut, Lebanon, and it was a great show for 25,000 people. However, because I missed Comic-Con, I wore a Han Solo replica belt on stage in front of 25,000 people for the MTV show. Not many people knew what it was.
Wow.
But when people did, it was just instant identification. Hello, I can talk to you. This is awesome.
That is really, really cool, actually.
That is beyond cool. Well, there are a lot of conventions. There's a convention that happens every single week, so I'll throw out there that maybe
you should do that
take
as well.
a look at
Possibly,
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do one here in Phoenix, too. We might have to get you in.
Drag you out this way.
Please do.
So, Emmy, what are you doing right now? What's the next step for you? What's the next song you're releasing? All that sort of thing. Tell our fans, because they're going to be interested. I know they are.
Cool. Well, the next big single that I'm releasing is called Stilettos, which is pretty self-explanatory. But for Halloween, a little sooner than the Stilettos release, just for fun for the fans, I'm releasing a music video that I did for my song "Zombie Boyfriend."
Oh yeah.
Which, you know, it speaks for itself, I guess.
That's awesome.
So it's funny because in one of my last interviews, somebody asked me if I had to go and do zombie research for the song "Zombie Boyfriend," and I'm like, no, I probably had to do more research on my boyfriend than the subject of zombies.
That's pretty cool. So, Emmy, we're kind of winding down here. So tell folks where they can find out about you, watch some of your videos, that sort of thing.
Well, they can check me out at emii.net. It's EMII.net. And actually from there, you can link up to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all that. I'm the one who runs all those pages. So if you talk to me and I talk back, it's actually me, just so you know.
Wow, I did not know that.
Really
I have
cool.
been to your site is phenomenal, by the way. Kudos to the developers and all the people that put that together. Because
that's
wow,
me.
that's all you. It was
good job.
Very, very nice job.
Me and my awesome. Thank you.
Wow.
Well, awesome. Well, folks, there you go. Check her out. Of course, we'll have links on our website, sliceofsci-fi.com. And, of course, you can watch the video, folks, out there, sliceofsci-fi.tv.
There you go.
All right. Thanks for joining us today, Emmy.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
All right. We'll be back with more Slice of Sci-Fi right after this.
Dragon Moon Press, bringing you some of the most exciting new authors in sci-fi and fantasy. Their titles open new worlds and bring unforgettable characters to readers just like you. Bring the magic and wonder of dragons to your child with Dragon's Fire, Wizard's Flame by Michael R. Menengay. Write your own story with a complete guide to writing fantasy. Books by Dragon Moon Press, sci-fi, fantasy, and beyond. Order these titles from your local retailer or visit the website at dragonmoonpress.com.
Alien detected in Sector 5.
Hey, Slicer, Sean from Edwards with more
News from Flight Test Land.
Celebration Edition. Much celebrating has been going on in Flight Test Land lately, first and foremost of which was the celebration of the 60th anniversary of the formation of the Flight Test Center at Edwards Air Force Base. Many, many important people from the past of Flight Test Land were present to give their impressions and their own personal history of what really made Flight Test Land what it is. The second major thing was the Space Shuttle Foundation out in Flight Test Land was celebrating what the Space Shuttle has done throughout its life. And in particular, we had a very important guest, none other than Miss Nichelle Nichols. Lieutenant Uhura came and spoke to the crowd. See, even we get cool special guests. And finally, the Spaceship Company, aka what's left of Burt Rutan's scaled composites, opened the Faith facility, the final assembly, integration, and test hangar out at Mojave Air and Spaceport. This is a facility where they will be doing final assembly, integration, and test of the Spaceship 2 and White Knight 2 aircraft as they get ready to ramp up for full production. There was a great celebration that occurred when that opened up, and well, folks, we're all partied out here in Flight Test Land. Sean from Edwards out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sean.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very cool. Nichelle Nichols.
Right?
Wouldn't that
That's
be
pretty
fun?
cool. That's pretty awesome. I like it.
Well, we got a few minutes left. Do we got anything interesting
Actually,
to talk
you know
about?
what? I'm going to go ahead and do this real fast.
Yeah.
I'm going to give the secret code phrase for this week, folks.
Because we have a cool contest.
We have contests, and so I think this is probably the right place for this. It is Will Wheaton.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll repeat it
Will
probably a
Wheaton
few
is
times.
the answer.
Yes.
Will's name has power.
Exactly.
That's right.
Indeed.
But we want to talk about the movie you two guys went and
Ooh,
saw.
In time. The movie Uncle Harlan wanted to burn.
Indeed he did.
Yes.
In Time with Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, I wanted to see it, but I've been sick, so...
All right, Brett, take it away.
So, my thing about that movie was I wanted more. I don't want a sequel. The movie just left me feeling like there was just more it could have been. You know what I mean?
So they only gave you part of it. You wanted more fleshing out of the story.
Yeah, it just it just never felt like it ever actually got.
There was some
everything
depth
out
to
of the story.
Gattaca,
Yeah,
right? It was written and directed by the same guy that did Gattaca. This felt a little more shallow. It's an okay, pretty good sci-fi actioner. I think Justin Timberlake was a little bland as a lead for me. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't really good.
And this is the one where you pay for everything with your
You
life.
stop aging at 25, and then you have a clock in your arm, and you have to earn time, and time is the currency. And people, when your time runs out, you just die.
Yep.
And there's a lot of great ideas. The production design was cool. There's a lot of thought put into the world. There's a lot of good in it, but it was only okay.
We need a director's cut, basically.
It's exactly what my
Okay.
phrase was if they ever come up with a director's cut, I think it'll be a phenomenal
It was like
movie.
they were trying to do sci-fi Bonnie and Clyde, but they were also trying to do like sort of a dystopian kind of 1984 kind of commentary, and they couldn't quite make it mesh.
I actually said
it's interesting.
I said I think it was like 3 different movies that were all wrapped into one, not any one of them complete enough to sit there and throw me.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
But the audience we were
It
with
was-
liked it. I mean, there were
Yeah.
good parts. I just can't give it a yay. I can give it a okay. Maybe matinee.
Got it. Yeah. That's sad.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of.
It could have been so much more.
The cars were cool, though. The cars were cool.
The cars were cool.
Yeah. And they had Amanda Seyfried running all over town in 5-inch platform heels, and I call shenanigans.
I think we're getting spoiled because we've gotten such really great movies in the last year or so, last couple years.
Yeah.
And
Well, we got a lot of crap, though, too, Mike. Come on.
That's true.
I mean, really, seriously, we've got some really crap movies,
But
too.
it's pretty bad when Real Steel got more of a reaction than this movie did.
That looked... anyway, that's another conversation,
Yeah.
but I think we're going to call it
Real
good for this
Steel.
week. The number 206-339-TREK. That's 206-339-8735. If you want to send us
but
something
in some really
interesting,
cute outfits.
we'll be back with more very soon.
Bye.